Okay, so back on the Packard Bell in the morning. Let me kind of recap what this combo unit is all about. The owner contacted me for a house call to get it electrically working, and I went up there and replaced a couple tubes that had gone to air and a couple other things, and the set came alive and was working fairly well. The CRT is pretty new in it, even though it's got some pretty severe scratches, which would drive me nuts. Then he wanted a new cartridge for the phonograph, so I ordered that up and put that on. Then he decided, because it worked fairly well, that he wanted it refinished. So I found a place that would refinish it, and they wanted all the guts pulled out of it. So I arranged with the owner to pick it up and gut it and take it to the refinisher and then reassemble it. And while I was doing that, there are a couple little minor issues that I was going to fix, like the imbalance between left and right, which was that capacitor, and I think this ICP, which is the degauss button, was stuck down. So I corrected those, and then upon testing I started to have high voltage problems, and now it looks like the flyback or something in the horizontal output circuit has failed. I've checked everything kind of up to the horizontal output, and I've replaced the tubes and the damper, and so today I'm going to disconnect the focus coil and see if it possibly has shorted, or the capacitor, and see if we can get it online. But I did not refinish it. I did not do the work. I took it and had a professional furniture refinishing guy do that. And if you guys are curious, we're into this right now, close to $1,000 worth of work. And here's this morning's selection. Nice and warped. Tell you, the record player in this thing sounds really good. So this is the focus coil right here. It's got that red and white wire connected to it. Just no easy way to get at this thing, you know. I need to disconnect this and see if it's what's loading the flyback down. These things have been known to cause this type of problem. You can see the wax a little better there from the flyback. Okay, I got the can off of this, the high voltage can. Look at the wax dump out of this flyback. Okay, taking a break from the flyback. This went out in the house. This is the ballast for fluorescent lights, and this switching mode ballast. I hate these things. They don't last nearly as long as magnetic. And the symptom is with this, it doesn't work, and when you tap on it, the lights come on. So let's open this up and see if we can find the crappy leadless solder joint that's failed. Here's inside the ballast, a nice switching mode thing. Let me try and show the failed joint here. It's right there. I don't know if you can see that with the camera. InstaStart electronic ballast. Ballast a semiconductor. You know, this is some of this new crap that these enviro-Nazi government rebel without a clue people have shoved down our throat. The old magnetic ballast would just last 20, 40, 60 years and never go bad. But these things, if you get 2 years out of them, you're lucky. And they think, well, you know, you're saving 25 milliamps. Well, you know, big deal. How about the environmental waste of all of these things going in the trash, and then on top of it, all the contaminants that are created by producing these things, because they're full of capacitors and other electronics. They just, you can't even buy the magnetic ones anymore. This is like these compact fluorescent bulbs, you know, just more rebel without a clue crap. Now I'm actually using a mode on this that allows me to drive the flyback like the TV, and it's not showing shorted. It's not bad, and it's actually producing a little high voltage. Maybe a kilovolt. You can see when I short that. Trying to get this out of the sun. You see it goes to AC short. I don't think this flyback is bad. I'm pretty baffled with this set. I have a test flyback here, which does almost exactly the same thing. You can see I get the arc, and when I arc it, it goes up to a AC short. My next step with this is going to be, I'm going to go through, I'm going to check these capacitors here, maybe one of them shorted. It's about the only other thing I can see that might cause a symptom. If this boost capacitor is shorted, that could possibly cause it. Yeah, just clip one lead out and test them.
Homes, or make them go to a sports stadium to be raped.
It looks like the .033 is bad.
We have a predatory government.
We get no eye here, and we got leakage.
News headlines and the photographer.
I would say that's shorted. Okay, here we go. I expect to see fire coming out of this thing. A nice arc. Go with the bad cap. Sure that's... Wow, I can feel my fingers are getting hot. Just wanted to show her that this was the capacitor that was shorted right here. Basically what that was doing is it was shorting the bottom of the flyback, that pin 1, right up to the B+. That's why the flyback was testing good, but we weren't getting any high voltage. Now I've got another problem where the CRT is being extremely overdriven to the point where it extinguishes the filament, and the brightness control does little to nothing. This bias issue seems to be in the CRT socket, because well, here we go. Here's the problem right here. The green is just broken off, and the focus wire is just broken off. So how about these pins, which are out of this, which I pried it apart. This is that board from that Sears end of the line video set. And what I did is I took this apart.
See them on the web at 5starstroke.com.
And these little ding-a-lings fit in here just absolutely perfectly, like they were made. So they fit in there perfectly, just like they were manufactured for it. So I'm gonna just stick this thing together and call it done. Okay, here we go, all fixed.
I've been listening to you for years, Alex.
You can see I repaired it using that those pins out of that Sears set.
Link up to you. Those that I talk to.
So we're looking real good here. The way I did this is I drilled the rivets out and opened it up, and then I replaced those two pins, and I twisted some wire around it. I've seen this done before. That green is what was causing my overload of the and we're looking real good now. Yeah, I want to mention our plate current's right on 180 right now too. So we're looking good here. Time to button this mess up.
Okay, wow, where to start? I am again in total overload right now. First off, Isaac, the big hurricane, could rival Hurricane Katrina and the amount of damage it could cause. And it's set to hit, I guess, Louisiana, Mississippi, and other areas.
Okay, I think I'm going to call this thing pretty much ready to go home. TV works. Turntable works.
In the free Syrian.
Just bowled out of...
FM works.
Already with a 3-car crash, traffic connection in your substances in our gut that are so essential to our well-being and overall digestive health. So all these things.
AM works. We need a little convergence here. I'll do that when it gets a little bit darker out here. Just have to kind of top up on the guess the clover leaf. And the back is all on. It's kind of neat because you can plug an MP3 player in here. There's the wire for that. So I think we're looking good here. I'm going to call this thing done. We can go green, blue, red on the NTSC generator. Purity looks okay. So yeah, and here were the bad parts that I ended up changing. The diode for the degaussing, that one causing no high voltage, and that was